Blocks are probably the most integral part of Minecraft, as it's a game of blocks. There are a wide variety of different types of blocks in the game, ranging from ones you can find everywhere in the world, ones you can only find in specific areas, ones that you can craft, and more. And in this video, I want to go over my personal top 10 favorite blocks across the entirety of Minecraft. Let's get started. In the number 10 spot are pistons. These are a basic redstone component that I am sure everyone has messed around with at least once. Even if you don't fully understand redstone, you can craft a piston using 3 planks, 4 cobblestone, an iron ingot, and a redstone, so it is an item that you can get relatively early on in Minecraft. But if you are wanting to mass produce it, you will need quite a bit of iron and redstone, which may slow you down there. Or whenever a piston is powered via redstone, it will push a block in front of it forward, where this obviously has quite a few different implications with different types of contraptions you can build using pistons. One important thing to keep in mind is how some blocks can't be pushed by pistons, like Obsidian, but you can also make sticky pistons by taking a piston and combining it with a slime ball that drops some slimes, or from other methods like how baby pandas have a 1 in 700 chance of dropping one when they sneeze. Where sticky pistons act in the same way as a regular piston does, with how it will push a block forward, but it will also pull the block back. This opens up a whole new realm of possibilities with different types of contraptions you can build, where I absolutely love using pistons to make retractable doors or retractable walls, and to just mess around with fun things like making a launch pad. And overall, pistons are just a great block to have that allow you to do so many fun things. In the number 9 spot is Obsidian. This is a very special block, not just because it can't be pushed by pistons, but because it is useful for a variety of different reasons. Obsidian can be obtained in a variety of different ways, but the most traditional way is through mining it, where whenever water flows over a lava source, obsidian forms. And you can mine that obsidian using a diamond pickaxe, where this is a very fun aspect of Minecraft's basic progression system, where you need to get a wood pickaxe to get stone, to craft a stone pickaxe to get iron, to make iron bars for an iron pickaxe, in order to mine diamonds to create a diamond pickaxe, so you can get obsidian, which you then use to progress further in the game. Where gameplay wise, obsidian is incredibly useful to create the enchanting table, which allows you to upgrade your armor, weapons, and tools, but it is also used to create the nether portal, which allows you to go to the nether. When it comes to the block itself, it looks decent. It's pretty in its own right, but it's definitely not the best looking block for your average build, but it does have its uses. But the aspect of building with obsidian that I love so much is how it is incredibly hardy and blast resistant. Where obsidian is a great building block to use because it is immune to normal explosions, which can be nice to have if you are wanting to build a durable and defensible base, either because you like living in one, or if you feel like it's important to have if you are playing on a PvP server. In the number 8 spot is Deepslate. This is a relatively new block that has been added to Minecraft that can be found when you dig down, except you have to dig pretty far down, as Deepslate starts appearing at y equals 8 and then becomes the main block underground at y equals 0, where there is the transition from stone to Deepslate that occurs as you go further and further underground. And I love that feeling of digging deep into the earth and eventually reaching Deepslate, because it feels like a whole new world as you begin to enter more potentially dangerous levels. Whenever you mine Deepslate, it becomes cobble Deepslate, and it can be used in crafting recipes that cobblestone can be used in, but you can also use cobble Deepslate to make all the different varieties of decorative Deepslate blocks. You can make walls, stairs, slabs, and turn cobble Deepslate into polished Deepslate, which gives you a whole new variety of decorations you can use in your world. And then you can turn those polished Deepslate into Deepslate bricks, which gives you a whole other level of decorative blocks. So at the end of the day, Deepslate itself just gives you so many different options you can decorate with. When Deepslate was first introduced to Minecraft, I was obsessed with it. It was one of my primary building blocks for making bases and other structures in my Minecraft world. Since then, my obsession for it has died down, and I don't use it nearly as often as I used to, but I still love it and do use it relatively often in different builds that I make. In the number 7 spot is the Shulker box. This is a very special and unique item that is decently challenging to obtain. Whenever you go to the end, you can fight the end dragon, and when you kill the end dragon, or if you bridge far enough out from the main end island, you can find the outer end islands. And dotted all throughout these islands are a variety of different end cities, strange looking buildings that are easily recognizable because they are made up of end stone bricks as well as purple blocks and are pretty tall structures. And as you explore through an end city, you can find shulkers. These are kind of scary, but relatively easy hostile enemies that will launch homing bullets at you. Should you get hit by a homing bullet, you will be inflicted with levitation and you will begin flying up into the sky until the levitation wears off, where you will then plummet to the ground. But should you kill a shulker, you have a chance of getting a shulker shell, where you can combine 2 shulker shells with the chest to get the shulker box. On the surface level, this is the same thing as a chest, where you can place it down on the ground to get a place that will hold 27 different items or stacks or whatever. But the important difference between these and normal chests is that when you break the shulker box to pick it up, all of the items inside of it will remain inside of it instead of being thrown across the floor, meaning you can transport a ton of items on your character by using multiple different shulker boxes, where this is a massive quality of life item that anyone who gets far into a survival world, especially those who like to build a lot of things, utilize a lot. And you can also dye the shulker box to make them a pretty color, which is cool as well. In the number 6 spot is the Chiseled Bookshelf. This is a pretty new item that has been added to the game recently. Shout out to normal bookshelves that are cool decorative blocks that I love to use in my builds and are also useful for enchanting. Where this block is very similar to the regular bookshelf, but is different in a very key way. It doesn't have any books. You can make this with 6 planks and 3 wooden slabs to get a single block that you can place down in the world. It has 2 different shelves that are empty that you can place books in. You can put any type of book into it, which opens up a ton of possibilities. Say you're building an enchanting area, you can place these around the room to store normal books that you want to enchant or books you have already enchanted that you want to use for later. Say you're building a library, you can add normal books to the shelf to add some decoration, or you can put in a written book that someone can take off the shelf and read. You could also use them as a part of a puzzle because they will send out a redstone signal that becomes stronger as you put more books in it. And there are probably an unlimited amount of ideas you could come up with if you are creative. And overall, it's just a really lovely block that I enjoy a lot. And the number 5 spot is the grass block. I mean, I feel like this block has to be on any top 10 list. Whenever I think of Minecraft blocks, this is one of the first ones that comes to mind. This is one of the, if not the, most iconic blocks in Minecraft. I mean, grass literally used to be the icon for the game, the flagship block. And when we look at grass in Minecraft, it is very common. Most biomes in the game have grass. Either they are entirely made up of grass on the top layer, or you can find a few spots here and there. But a fun thing with grass is that its color will change depending on what biome it is in. Desert grass, for example, looks a lot drier, whereas jungle grass is more green and vibrant. Grass is important for raising sheep, where sheep can eat grass to regrow their wool. When you break grass, you get dirt, which can be used in its own ways. When you use a shovel in grass, you get path blocks, which is super cool. Grass can be spread to dirt blocks that do not have grass, allowing you to make more of this type of block, or to get it into specific areas if you do not have a silk touch tool yet. Snow can fall on grass blocks, making them all snowy looking, which is really fun. And there are so many other intricacies to this block that just makes it super fun and one of my favorites in the game. In the number 4 spot is oak wood. This is probably the most common and well-known wood type in the game, where it used to be the only type of wood in the game way back in the day. Over the years, we have gotten many types of wood that we can use, but oak wood is the original, and it's a pretty solid block. This is one of my favorite blocks to build with in Minecraft, and tends to be my go-to for any starter base. You have the base oak log itself, which is oftentimes the first block that somebody breaks in a Minecraft world, where you can break it to get the log. You can turn that log into wood, and you can start creating a wide variety of different things with it as you turn it into planks, sticks, tools, and other decorative or useful blocks, like fences or doors. As you explore the world, you will see randomly generated structures that are often made up of oak wood, or the various other wood types, like in villages, mine shafts, strongholds, shipwrecks, and more. You can burn wood with flint and steel, which is fun in its own way, and the combination of how many uses it has, how nice of a block it is to build with, and how iconic it is just makes it one of my favorite blocks in all of Minecraft. And the number 3 spot is glass. This is another one of the oldest blocks in Minecraft that is just fantastic. You can find glass around the world, but you can also make it by smelting sand inside of a furnace, where it by itself is a solid block that you can place down and it is transparent. This is probably one of the core blocks that people use in different builds around the game, as glass is necessary for making windows and it can also be used in other fun ways. But you can also make glass panes, which can add a whole other level of details to your build, and they often look nicer in window frames compared to normal glass blocks. You can also make stained glass using dye, which will give you a wide variety of different types of colored glass depending on what dye you use. You can also make tinted glass with amethyst shards, which will block any light from going through it, but will remain transparent, which is a great block to use in a variety of builds. Rare, glass can be used for other crafting recipes as well, like glass bottles. Glass has some interesting interactions with monsters because they cannot see you through glass, and most monsters can't spawn on glass blocks. Glass is also pretty important for different redstone contraptions because of how redstone will interact with it, and stained glass is also used to change the color of beacon beams, where you could put a block of blue stained glass to make a beacon beam blue, but you can also combine a variety of different stained glass together to make a wide variety of different colors of beacons, like how adding more and more white will make the blue lighter and lighter, where there is this relatively complex mathematical equation that determines the color of the beam, and overall glass is just a really great block and is fun to use in the game. And the number 2 spot is Amethyst. This is one of the newest blocks added to the game, and it's probably one of the most popular across the entire game's community. Amethyst can be found in geodes underground, which are really cool, naturally generated features that look beautiful. And as you dig into them, you'll go from a dark basalt to a white calcite, and then to the purple amethyst, where right off the bat, amethyst is just beautiful. This is an absolutely gorgeous block that a lot of people love to use in their builds, but in geodes, you can also find budding amethyst, which will continuously grow amethyst clusters that players can mine to get amethyst shards, where the clusters themselves look pretty as well, but you can use amethyst shards to make blocks of amethyst that you can use in your own build, and to make the tinted glass we just talked about. You can also use it to make a spyglass, which is fun, and also to make a calibrated scope sensor, which is a cool redstone item. Amethyst can also be used with armor trims to add purple outlines to your armor. Amethyst itself is also a somewhat important part of redstone, and amethyst also has some very special sound mechanics, where it makes a sound when you interact with it, hit it with a projectile, and walk over it. Where the sound it makes as you walk over it is one of the biggest reasons it is so popular, because so many people, myself included, love the sound, which coupled together with how beautiful it is, just makes it a phenomenal block. But now for the number 1 spot, for my favorite block in all Minecraft, and has got to go to Cobblestone. I will die on this hill. I think Cobblestone is the most underrated block in Minecraft, and does not deserve nearly as much hate as it gets on a regular basis. I love this block, and I use it a lot. I think part of why it gets so much hate is because of its old texture, but honestly, I really like its old texture. Yet people still hate its new texture, which I also love a lot. Cobblestone is one of the most commonly found blocks in the game, where it is equivalent to cobble Deepslate, and how that can be found super deep underground. You can get cobblestone underground, but before you reach Deepslate, where whenever you mine stone without a silk touch pickaxe, you will get a piece of cobblestone. And cobblestone has so many different uses. It can make a wide variety of different decorative blocks. Similar to Deepslate, you can turn cobblestone into other blocks, like back into stone blocks, into smooth stone blocks, into stone bricks, and all the different varieties of each of those blocks. Where on top of it all, there are also mossy versions of many of these different blocks, which look incredible. Cobblestone is an incredibly integral part of a player's Minecraft experience. It is one of the first blocks you get in the game, and you need a lot to make some early tools or to make furnaces or a variety of other blocks. When we look at other aspects of Minecraft, we could look at Skyblock, where creating a cobblestone generator with water flowing over flowing lava is incredibly important for that game mode, and just because it is common doesn't mean it's bad for building. Cobblestone is one of my favorite blocks to build within Minecraft, not only with its variants that you can make, but also cobblestone itself. Sure, if you were to build a structure that is only cobblestone, it would look pretty bad, but that can be said with every other block as well. But knowing how to use cobblestone in your build can really elevate it to a whole other level, and I just love to use it in a wide variety of different builds aside from structures. And overall, it is just a phenomenal block that deserves so much more than it gets, and it is my favorite block in all of Minecraft. And that's my list. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, these are my own opinions, which are probably incredibly different compared to everyone else's. There are also quite a few blocks in Minecraft. We're only talking about 10 of them scrapes the surface of what is available. Let me know what your own favorite blocks in Minecraft are down in the description. I hope you are taking good care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.